I'm the VIP concierge manager and guest experience manager in La Roca Village. As Alvaro was explaining you, we are part of the Visitor Village shopping collection. We are 11 villages in the world, 2 in China and the other 9 in Europe. Okay, so it's our mother is in Bicester in London, with the hospitality team. It's already around 90 people, and now we are testing little by little what is working there in the different villages, and that's why it's so new. Everything started like 2 years ago. I've been in the company for 1 year and a half, more or less, a little bit less, and we are starting over everything from zero. So that means that we can create many things that never thought about it before. And not just because we are from the same company, we have to do everything looking the same within the company. In Bicester, there's a division that works in a way. We have certain basics that we have to follow as a corporate company, but then each village has its own personality, okay? So I'm coming from the hotel business. I'm hotelier from all my life, like 15 years ago, starting in Ritz-Carlton here in Barcelona. Then I've been in Sofia, Majestic, Ritz-Carlton in Portugal, and then JW in London, and finishing here in Barcelona in Mandarin Oriental. Most of the times in management positions, always in the room division. I'm not F&B, and I don't know much about F&B, but yes, about how to look after the guest. Actually, in my last jobs in Ritz-Carlton and in Mandarin, I was guest relations manager and duty manager. So that makes you learn how to read the guest, to know how to behave in certain situations, especially in the most difficult ones, because in the easy ones, we are all ready for a smile. And also we are ready to differentiate the needs of the guests depending on their nationality, which for us is extremely important. La Roca Village, I don't know if you know this information, but it's the #1 touristic attraction in Catalonia. It's the #1. After that comes Sagrada Familia.
Really?
Yes. So it's a detail that most of the people doesn't know, because people think, okay, La Roca Village is an outlet, it's far away from the city, you know, we have to go there. But 90% of our guests are tourists. And they...
According to what detail? According to what, ¿cómo se llama? ¿De qué fuente viene eso? Source?
So the sources, as Alvaro explained you, we have hospitality and tourism. Tourism would be like the sales department in one hotel, for you to understand, okay? They are different markets, like in a hotel, US market, Korean, Chinese, Indian, they are different, our top targets, and we start working in destination before the guests arrive here. It's true that certain nationalities are more focused in that kind of product, and that's why for us are our top guests. I would say that Chinese and Korean our top one, also because they love shopping, that's one reason. They love exclusivity, to find what they cannot find in their countries. Another thing would be the taxes that they have in their countries, that here they don't. Plus they have the tax refund. So there are different kind of services that for them are very important, and then they decide coming. Actually, if you walk around the village for one day, you will see, depending on the frame of time, the nationalities are different. Early in the morning are Asians, because they arrive early, they prefer to leave earlier. Chinese and Korean mainly, Taiwanese. Yeah, now is the Chinese New Year, yes, now it's packed. But they take the bus at 9 a.m. They are before the opening of the village there, waiting in their favorite brands. Then the Middle Eastern guest is one nationality that is very important for us. Kuwait, Emirates, Qatar. Yeah, they would be the main ones. And then we have Russia as well, and the local one that for us is very important, but the local is more guided not as much as in the services as other nationalities, but in the price. So you need to know what kind of guest it is to know what kind of services you need to develop. For example, a Chinese guest is not that focused in service. He wants, I have 3 hours, and these 3 hours, they need to work for me. So I need to go through the 140 shops that we have in La Roca and make it work for me. Somebody from Russia or from Dubai, they will be really open for a proper service. A local depends, you know, but it's very important that at the moment that you receive that guest, you are able to understand their needs. Okay, now that it's working, I will be able to explain you a little bit in an easier way. Merci, ¿eh? La pongo en modo presentación. Okay, so we will start with, oh, come on. ¿Por qué no funciona nada?
No te lo va a coger porque...
Es interno.
Exacto.
Ya, pero es mi ordenador del trabajo. ¿Sabes?
Sí,
Voy a
no sé.
intentarlo. Ya, pero es que
Pruébalo.
lo he hecho con mi ordenador. Quiero decir que...
So, answering his question as well, the fact that we are the number 1 more visited is because of the tourism of Barcelona, of Catalunya. So, you know, there's a ranking of the most visited tourist destination in Catalunya. There's always a ranking every year, and this is how, you know, we got the ranking on. We were always number 2, Sagrada Familia and us, and then since last year, at the end of summer, we got the number 1. This is a survey of the tourism of Catalunya that, you know, obviously they got the tourist destination.
The problem is the Wi-Fi, the internet connection.
Internet is not working.
So,
This is
do you know the password?
Okay, no problem, but it's just wondering who kind of foreign people wants to go
Yeah.
by instead to go to other Barcelona matches and all that. That's what I was wondering.
You know, this is
Yeah.
a really good question because this is why we have
Thank
a couple of
you.
people in Barcelona working for us. You know, we have a tourism department that there are 8 people, you know, that make, you know, they are impacting constantly in hotels, in agencies, into operators, you know, to make these people attract. So, for example, something that they do really well, we have now the Chinese New Year, but we started 5 months ago. People from tourism traveling to China, you know, and impacting in the trade shows, in agencies. So when someone in China, for example, is in the airport, is going to visit La Roca Village. When they print the boarding pass, they will see the logo La Roca Village.
The marketing is amazing.
Exactly.
I have seen it many times.
Yes. So this is how it makes that suddenly we have so many people that when people like tourism, they come to Barcelona, they have Sagrada Familia and La Roca Village.
Okay, I have the video ready. Yes! Okay, so I'm going to play a video. It's an introduction of Visitor Village Shopping Collection for you to understand different areas and a little bit what we are doing. From there, we will take and also we will advance with the different questions you might have. Oh. A mí me enseña, ¿eh?
So you have to duplicate. Wait one sec.
That was not
No.
planned.
Wait one sec. I think this is
Control K. Lo que pasa es que se ve la presentación pero no se ve el vídeo. Iba linkado.
Espera, deja de presentar. ¿Dónde la tienes? Aquí. Déjala de presentar. Ahora.
A ver.
Pon ahora.
Sí, ahora sí.
No, yes. Ok. ¿Dónde empezamos de cero, no? Espera.
Sí.
No.
Ok, no. So, after watching this video, who would come to one of our villages or to La Roca? How many of you?
I would.
You would?
Definitely.
Yeah. What was your main thinking when you were watching the video? Like, which things came to your mind?
Shopping, expensive.
Expensive? Exclusivity?
Like a variety of services that are offering in the villages. So not only the shopping, but also the gastronomic experience and many others. So that facilities that offer enormous, very different types of facilities that offer.
Very good.
In other villages.
Yes.
And for me, it is very obvious that you personalize the experience because you can see Chinese people doing what they are expecting to receive as taking care of them because the picture, because some things, and also Asiatic people, different parts of the world, different ways of being entertained.
Anything else?
And also that this service is very professional, that everything is coordinated very well. So people do their job with a great motivation and a professional encouragement.
Perfect. Thank you for your inputs. I'm going to explain you a little bit how the hospitality division works. Okay, so we are 4 people in charge. Well, we have our director of hospitality and guest experience that is responsible for La Rozas Village and La Roca Village. And then we have in Barcelona, I'm going to focus more in Barcelona, we have Janif, that he started like 1 month ago, is our new hospitality manager, more focused in the overall experience in the village. Then we have the Tourist Information Center that is, imagine like a reception in a hotel, right? When you saw all these visitors coming and receiving information, they are the ones receiving the biggest amount of guests in the village. They have also a satellite that is like a big trolley in one of the other entrances, because imagine 140 boutiques it's a very big space. So if we have it fully covered, it's easier to provide information and to assist the guest. Then we have the VIP concierge, that is me. And all my team is coming from hotel business. And for me, it's very important that because I need them to understand the guest. The VIP lounge is very exclusive, only a limited number of guests can access. For example, I am the responsible of the luxury hotels in Barcelona. So I have a close relationship with them. They have exclusive services depending on the hotels that they don't have if they come directly to La Roca, for example. So we work very closly with Mandarin, Majestic, hoteliers. The concierge call us and ask us for a VIP experience. We organize the transfer. The driver call us 5 minutes before they arrive. We wait for them, greeting them by name. Usually we know the nationality, so if I know is an Arabic speaker and the person in my team that is Arabic speaker is working, is the one that is going to receive that guest, right? If you are welcome in your language at the end, you feel more comfortable. So we have Chinese, Arabic, Russian. I'm more focused in the locals, but I speak Portuguese as well. So the most important nationalities for us are fully covered. We all speak Spanish, we all speak English. So it's pretty easy for us to work and to organize us. So once the guest arrives, first thing is escort them to the lounge. So we stop them before they start their shopping because we don't want them just to come for a shopping experience. Our goal is that they feel special, that they feel different, and that they live an experience that they are not gonna have in any other shopping center, we could say. We are called shopping destination. We don't consider us a mall or a shopping center. But they cannot experience this kind of services in any other center, at least here in Barcelona. So once we receive them, first thing, we offer them anything to drink. We try to find out any information about them. Sometimes they are celebrating their birthday. Sometimes they are honeymooners. Sometimes they are very focused in buying a specific brand. So it's our responsibility to make them feel comfortable. They sit down in the sofa, we show them the map, we explain them the different restaurants we have. We recommend them, even on the weekends that is so busy, if they allow us to make a booking in the restaurant so they don't have to queue. We behave as a concierge would do in a hotel, right? Then we assist them with anything they might need. Transportation, even shows in Barcelona, sometimes they ask us or directions to arrive somewhere. A lot of people is coming from La Costa Brava as well, driving. So especially Russians in summer, a lot of them have residences there. So they come driving and then they need help for directions or anything else. And we have a very good service that it's pretty exclusive that is called hands-free shopping. Hands-free shopping makes the experience of the guest totally different. They just need to fill a form that is very basic. We provide them with a wallet with an ID number. And when they go shopping, they just need to show this ID number in the boutique. And then all these bags are picked up by the hands-free shopping service team, and then they are saved in a security storage room, so nobody has access. And then 20 minutes before the guest wants to leave, we call them, they bring all the bags, we check the security numbers because all the bags are labeled with a security number, and in the records, they need to match the numbers, so the guest knows nobody manipulated the bag as well. And we check how was their experience. If it's a birthday, sometimes we surprise them with a birthday cake before leaving, or we do a cheer. We sing to them as well sometimes. They get really embarrassed, but we do it. And then when the chauffeur is there, we personally bring the bags to the car. we open the doors as if it was a hotel, and we wait until they leave to say goodbye. So what we want to ensure is that there's nothing happening in between since they left the hotel until they went back. So our responsibility is to ensure they have a smooth experience. So I always provide my business card. If they need anything during their experience, they can reach me anytime to change the transfer, if they have an issue in one boutique, anything they might need, right? And that's one of the biggest difference, the personalized service. Also, the high spenders from the village have access to the lounge, that they would be certain nationalities, as I mentioned.
Can you repeat who has access?
People who had a high spend in one of the luxury brands. So the brands provide them with an invitation and they can access. But as I mentioned, it's very exclusive, very limited. But at the moment, we can have an average between 30 and 70 people per day. So it's getting busier. The hotels every time recommend us more, the boutiques as well. So every time the team is growing more. The days there is, we divide the team in two. One would be the village concierge. That are the concierges that are more around the village, assisting guests with information, with anything they may need. And then the ones that we are in the lounge. We are the same team. We just help guests in different ways. So then we have the tax refund as well. That is very helpful for some guests. And they don't have to do it at the airport. So for some of them, it's very, very much easier. So I wanted to show you something, because I don't know if you have many experience in hotels, right? But for example, these are some of the things we have done for our guests. Just, it's a little. So the happy birthday, Then one day this couple came, and by talking to them, we found out that she was pregnant, and she just found out. We made the reservation in the restaurant, and we spoke with the pastry chef for them to prepare this little gesture. In here also, it was a birthday, and this was in Sant Jordi. In Sant Jordi, do you know the tradition, all of you? Is our St. Valentine's here. So we were delivering to all the ladies in their village a red rose as a gesture. Every year we update it. I mean that not because last year we did it, this year we are gonna do it. We try to innovate and create the wow factor and the surprise factor to the guests every time. Okay. Until here, I don't know if you have questions or you have curiosity for anything in particular. Tell me.
Me?
Both of you, any of you.
No, I mean, it's amazing that the personal experience is getting over and over through the years, getting importance. And the hotels is already a department, and now in the commercial centers, for me, it's curious. It's quite a good idea to increase market and target.
Because, for example, you like one brand. For example, imagine you always use Calvin Klein jeans. You can buy them almost everywhere. You can go to many shopping malls or small boutiques. But if every time you go to one specific place, they know you, they know what type of trouser you like, which are your sizes, or which colors do you like, probably you will come back there. You will say, okay, it's farther or closer from home, but they know me, they know what I like, and if there's a new product, they will recommend me what I really like, right? So it's something that we try to do. It's true that most of our guests are tourists, but they recommend us. That means that maybe somebody from Qatar is today here, but in 2 weeks he calls me saying, my brother is coming. Can you assist him? And then after 2 weeks, the cousin, because especially Middle Eastern and Korean guests, They work from yes, thank you. And so it's very important to have a guest satisfied. So some of them, before leaving, they said, can I have your contact? Because I'm sure I will come back. Some of them have been 7 times in Barcelona, and it's the first time they heard about La Roca. And they say, how come nobody explained me about this before? We explained that the lounge, for example, is open since 1 year ago, the concierge team as well. We are still growing, we are still creating. But that thing that now still growing in a couple of years is going to be something huge. And we are going to be totally, I consider already that we are very, very different from our competency. But there are many local guests that they come once a month. They like the space, they like the way they are treated. We know them by name. Sometimes they even send us WhatsApps. I'm coming today, can I have a parking space? Yes, sure, you know, you receive them. They said, oh, if you are not here today, maybe you are in your day off. Okay, then tell me when next week you are coming. And they are coming just to see you, to sit down with you, to have a coffee after their shopping. Yeah, I bought this. They explained, you so excited, you know, and they know you are there to listen. Sometimes they had a problem in one boutique. They didn't mention anything in the boutique. They sit down with you. You say, hey, how are you today? Well, you know, I had this little issue, but it's fine. Don't worry. No, tell me. They need to trust you. They need to know that you are there. Of course, the focus are the sales, same as any business. Without sales, there's no business. But they need to know how important for us they are, because without them, we are nothing. So if you listen to them, they will end up explaining you. And actually, it happened to me with one guest. She didn't want me to explain something that happened to her. And she told me, please, tell me you're not going to talk to anybody about this. I said, I will report it to the right person, but we are not going to take action as you ask, right? It's a person that comes every week, every 10 days. I reported it, and yesterday she came again talking to me about something different. She asked me, did you report it yet? But don't worry, they are not doing anything. You know, like at the end, my colleague said, I was on the phone, can I help you? No, I wait to talk to her. You know, so that's loyalty, the loyalty that is so difficult to get, because you can get very many new guests every day. But if you keep them, that's much more difficult. And if you keep them, maybe, if you do it the right way, they will come forever to you. You will be the right person for them. I've been changing hotels for many years. And there were guests that were traveling just to see me to the other hotels, you know. I was in Portugal, and then I went to London. There were guests coming to London just to have one-day dinner with me outside the hotel. You know, so we work with the emotions. You need to take that into account. You want maybe to be responsible of one luxury restaurant, but it depends the way you work the emotions of your guest. It's going to be a successful restaurant or not. It can be the best food in the city, that if you don't know how to treat the guest, the reputation is going to be bad and nobody's gonna be back. I love to go to those restaurants that I come back, hey, hello again. They know I have allergy to this or that, I don't like this, or my favorite dish is that. And before asking, they said, I'm bringing you a little bit of this because I know you like it. There's nothing better than when somebody knows you, right? So in retail now, it's essential. They can sell thousands of millions of euros a year, but if there's no connection with the guest, it's not gonna work, because little by little, these sales are gonna decrease. And little by little, the loyal guests that you used to have will disappear. Okay, so that's why we are here, to work really strongly on that. There are many projects going on, and every time we have the chance, we try to do something new to surprise. It's Chinese New Year. Okay, we work around the village with tiny pink pigs, like candy, giving to them. They were like, what's this, you know? And we learned how to say Happy New Year in Chinese. We were telling them in a very bad pronunciation, honestly. You know, some of them were like, sorry? I was like, yeah, let me repeat it again, you know? No, I'm Taiwanese. I was like, okay, no, you are not going to understand, right? But the thing is that, yeah, the thing is that, yeah, I don't remember anymore. It was kulai, yeah, something like this. But yeah, not really bad pronunciation, really. But we try to, is the Women's Day in Russia is very important, the 8th of March, for example. And you know that flowers are the most important thing for ladies that day in Russia. So you need to know, you will probably receive a high percentage of Russian guests that day, especially men that come to buy the gift for her. And if you have a gesture with them, with a little flower in pink especially, and you tell me if it's wrong. The tulips are very important. So next year they will come back. Most of them, they have residences in Costa Brava, and they come back and forth. But it depends how important they feel. You cannot imagine what somebody from Saudi Arabia, that what I'm going to tell you is very important. Middle East is very big. It's Saudi Arabia, Emirates, Kuwait, Libya. But you cannot address to them in the same way. That means in Saudi Arabia, that is one of the most conservative countries in Middle East. They have one part that is very modern. So you need to know what kind of guest you have in front of you. Just because he says I'm from Saudi Arabia doesn't mean you can only address to the men, you cannot give the hand. You know, there are certain protocols that you need to know. So, but you know, if they are Indian, probably they will be vegetarian. If they are Middle Eastern, most of them, they don't want to drink alcohol when you offer it. Some of them, yes. It depends how open they are, right? But the post-Ramadan for them, Eid Mubarak, is super important. We have thousands of them coming. They are on holidays, and it is the biggest holiday for them. It's like Christmas for us. So you need to know which guests you have in front, why they are coming, because if it's business, in the Mobile Congress, you are not going to treat them the same way as somebody that just finished Ramadan, right? You know, business people want everything fast. They want everything easy. They need a portable phone charger, and they need you to be resolutive. Where is my car, right? Somebody that comes for the Eid Mubarak will want to enjoy. They want you to explain them everything, to look after them. Sometimes they sit down with you, they show you the pictures of their kids, and where can I find clothes for kids? You know, they are like really emotional, some of them. The other day, one guest, they were from Asia. And actually, in Asia, usually Asians, they don't really drink wine. They ask for beers, juices. That man asked us especially for red wine, and we have a very exclusive wine there. He loved it, and then he said, do you have white wine? Yes, we have white wine. Okay, let me try it. And then I said, now that you are doing a tasting, actually it was like a pairing in a restaurant, would you like to try our cava? He said, where is cava? You know, I said, yes, you don't know where is cava. I was explaining them, I was showing them the bottle. They were explaining me. The following day, they were going to Montserrat and visit some vineyards and this. So at the end, you know, I have special boxes with this special red wine. And with my colleague Ilona, we said, we are gonna give them the surprise for them to take home with them. The man started crying. He said, I didn't expect that here. I came for shopping. And today we didn't know really what to do because tomorrow we have the tours. We said, let's do some shopping. And now you're doing that for us. He was so emotional. He was from Hong Kong. And then when you see a reaction of a guest like this, then you know that you did your job properly, right? I don't mind to work 10 hours if at the end of the day I made happy at least one guest, right? That's why when we know there's a birthday, there's something happening, even in between, PR can call me. Today there's somebody coming, an influencer, can be press, can be anybody. And we found out she just got promoted and this. Let's celebrate her promotion, Let's, if we have time in advance, let's make a surprise in a chocolate plate. We can put pictures, we can personalize muffins, we can do anything. I mean, if you are gonna surprise this person, doesn't matter how much effort you have to put on it, right? Because at the end, the emotions are the most important things in that kind of way of working, right? We can talk about numbers for hours. How many sales, budget, footfall, everything. But at the end, without the experience of this guest, you don't have footfall, you don't have sales. The budget drops, So you need to be very focused and to know very well what you are doing. If you are there, you need to know what is your focus. Otherwise, it's not worth it that you want to do this career, right? You wanted to ask something before.
Yeah, I want to ask, I have basically two questions.
Yeah.
The first one is not related with hospitality.
Yeah.
I want to ask you if the office in Barcelona, they manage only the villages La Roca and La Rosa, or it's also connected with the central office like a Bella Retail, like an international one?
Well, as I mentioned, the group that would be corporate is mainly in London, but it's true that some people is distributed, like, for example, Karma, the director of legal, she's looking after Milano as well. Then we have our director of hospitality and tourism. Well, they are two different. They are focused in Barcelona and Madrid. But maybe the director, and you will know better, of maybe Machmechelen is also responsible for another village. Like at the end, our guidelines, they are coming all from corporate. It's true that each village has its own personality, and we at the end, we need to adapt to the target of guests we have, because we don't have the same guests that they have in London or in Paris or in I don't know, in Belgium, So each of us, following the guidelines, we are pretty free to create whatever we want. It's true that we are a lot in touch with corporate. We have calls. There are a lot of traveling as well. So at the end, you end up meeting some of the heads of the company, and they are really interested in visiting the villages to see what's happening. So at the end, we work, all of us, very closely. I know most of the people in hospitality in other villages because we call each other, or they need, sometimes we have a project already working in our village. They want to start up there, so they ask for help, like in Madrid and Barcelona, we are always aligned. So myself in Madrid and myself, we speak almost every day. Every 3 months I go to Madrid, every 3 months he comes here, and we end up aligned.
And the second question, I think that's a more personal question, because my parents and I, we do visit the village, and I want to ask if the ordinary basic clients who just come with their maybe cars or just come with the normal buses from Catalunya and Barcelona, how can they get that type of service? Because I didn't see, for example, that it's offered in the village. Maybe I need to ask for you, or I don't know, because I didn't know about that before.
You came by bus, by driving?
We come by driving. I
Mhm.
know if I need to go to the guest office or
To the tourist
and I need to
information
ask that
center?
I need like hands-free, or I need something to drink, or it's only for VIP clients.
No, in the tourist center, they will work as a reception.
Yes.
Okay, so they will be able to provide you all the information that you need, the map, same as I do, but different, I mean, with much bigger volume, I would say, mainly, right? You can do the hands-free shopping there.
It's for free.
No,
No.
only in the lounge is for free. Otherwise, it has a cost of €9. I mean, it's not like a drama either, but they can do the contract there. And in the boutiques as well. You can ask for the hands-free shopping in the boutiques, and they will arrange
Yes,
it
so
for
if,
you.
for example, someone is VIP client, everything is included in the service. And if I'm just the ordinary client, like the basic one, I need to get that service by my own. So it's not a package as for VIP.
It's not a package. It's true that with some companies there are partnerships.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's true that if you are coming through certain hotels, you will have it just, even if you don't buy, you will receive this service. But then also, we work with 30 boutiques specifically in the village, that when they have a high spender, they invite them to come to the lounge. So imagine if you spend €1,000 in Loewe, they will provide you an invitation with the stamp of Loewe. When they come, we will know that this guest spent up to certain amount in Loewe.
Thank you.
You know?
So the criteria in your place would be the amount of money they spend on the stores.
Not always, not always, because also we handle complaints. For example, I always tell the boutiques, don't use it only for guests that spend a lot of money. If you have a guest that is nervous, is upset, bring him here. We offer them a coffee, and you can talk slowly with them. And by the time the guest sits down and you offer him something, he will calm down already. So the conversation, even there's a complaint, the conversation will be totally different by the atmosphere and the way that you address to
You're
him.
using your hotel's techniques, I think.
Yeah, yeah, all the time, all the time.
Very good. Yeah.
That's why my team, all of them are coming with this background. And then also another way, there are guests that maybe they are in Bulgaria. That is one of the most expensive boutiques. And they are not sure if they want to buy this or that. Okay, come to the lounge, relax, decide if you want to buy it or not. Maybe it doesn't work. The guest says, I decided I don't want to buy this. But maybe just the fact of thinking about it in a relaxed atmosphere, it turns it into a sale. And another option as well is, for example, there are guests that are very difficult, right? We know that. And sometimes they call me from another department. I have this situation and this. Don't worry, I handle it. You know, like, we can play pretty a lot. The most important thing is that every guest that is living in the village is satisfied. That's why we are on duties on the weekends, one hospitality manager every weekend to ensure the village is offering the right services, everything is in the right conditions, all the teams are well, there are no big complaints. If there's a complaint, is the follow-up straight away. We don't leave it going on for days. And sometimes it's coming through another department. It's not even coming from your department, but because they use us, and I like to say this, even it sounds like a little bit bad, because we know how to address to the guest. So there's a difficult situation, we need to give an answer. Okay, who better than somebody from hospitality, even the complaint is from retail, to manage it, right? So we are now changing some things since Janif arrived, and I think little by little things will get better. But I think that the most important thing is the satisfaction of guests. There are local guests that come and say, oh, how can I access here? A lot of people ask you, how can I access here? We explain them. Well, the Chinese is easy. They go, they buy 800 euros, they come back, right? But the local guests sometimes say, oh, okay, I was never invited. No, I was just curious. Tell them, yeah, but it's fine. Try it for today, just enjoy, and you will see, you know, you need to be flexible as well. You know, that's the way we work. Hospitality being too strict is not hospitality at the end, right? And we work a lot with the boutiques in this way, that you have a site inspection, our farm trips. Kuwait Airlines is coming for a farm trip of 10 people. We organize everything with tourism for a nice welcome. We prepare them everything. I do a little speech to them, you know, like you just personalize. Imagine somebody from Middle East coming, and that somebody that is Arabic speaker does the tea ritual for them. What is your reaction? You're like, I'm in Barcelona, they are doing the tea ritual to me? I'm in the wrong place, I think I didn't take the plane, right? So that's the wow factor we try to play with, you know, because at the end, doesn't matter if you spend a lot of money or not. The most important thing is that the experience is the right one. And actually, we are very focused in the hospitality in the boutiques. It's something that we work as well. We need people in the boutiques that they know how to address to the guests. For me, it's not okay if somebody from a boutique is talking in badly to somebody, right? It's not even interesting for the brand, right? So we do trainings, we do many things to increase the experience of the guest. Well, Francesco,
there
you
is no
say.
concordance, no? If must to be always the same, like product, not just for the product that they are buying inside the shop, but also for the trade on itself, no? Because at the end is everyone the same line.
Yes.
So you say from the pick up from the hotel until come back, but also not just for the VIP concierge or experience or treatment, but also when they're buying the shop inside. I mean, everything must to be on the same line at the end.
Yes, I always tell the
speak,
guests, for example, maybe you have today one of your top VIP guests, and today is not buying anything, but you know that every 2 months is coming and is spending 5,000 euro, because there are guests like this. Even for us, it's like 5,000 euro. It exists. Give them a treat, invite them to the lounge, even that they didn't buy anything. For them is a loyalty as well. They are rewarding one of their VIP guests. That means these guests will continue coming to that brand. So at the end, we are looking all of us for the same, and we need to work together to make it work. Retail with marketing. Without marketing, nobody knows about the concierge services or hospitality services. Each campaign is different. This Christmas, we had every weekend a show in the village. In the morning, fairy tales readers for kids. In the evening, maybe gospel singers, you know, and it was for everybody in the village. We were just trying to create an experience for everybody, you know. So at the end, that's our goal. It doesn't matter where are you from, how much you spend. What we want you to do is to enjoy when you come to us, you know. And some guests say, oh, I was in one of your villages in Madrid or in Italy. I didn't know it was from the same collection. That's why now we are all Visitor Village Shopping Collection, and now people relate the villages in between, you know. And the best thing is when they say, oh, I was in this one, but nowhere they treat me like you did here. You're like, wow, I feel so proud, right? So yeah, that's what makes difference at the end, you know. What else? Any question?
All of the villages have like the same service, like the department of hospitality, or it's just like you are beginning here in Barcelona and then you will like build like in the other villages?
There's hospitality in all the villages. It's true that everything starts in London. So they create it in Bicester, and then if it works, after 1 year, starts developing in the other ones, you know. We are very new, just 2 years. I joined 1 year and few months ago only. I was coming from hotel business. I didn't know anything about retail. So imagine you coming with your hotel mindset, saying, yeah, I know everything about hospitality. And then you realize you're in a business that is totally different and you need to be able to adapt to a really fast business, because fashion changes every 3 months. Every 3 months is a new collection, is a new campaign, is something happening. In hotels, yeah, you have some Valentine's, Easter, but everything is more like established, right? It's, you know, okay, in 2 weeks I will have this, in 1 month is Christmas. But in retail, everything is changing like this. And now there's a new presentation, a new brand, new collection, new event, and you need to be very fast. You need to adapt. And all the knowledge that you have, you need to be able to apply it in the right way. That sometimes is the most difficult way, thing, right? To be able to adapt all what you know in a totally different business. But I want you to think about it, because, as I mentioned before, hospitality always sounds to hotel business, but you can apply it in many, many different ways, and you can use the experience in a very big wide of different kind of businesses. So it's good that you start in pure hospitality to learn the basics, to learn certain behaviors, the grooming standards, how to address to specific type of guests. But then if you decide, I'm tired of this, what can I do? Sometimes after working many years in the same sector, you think you are not able to do anything else. And then you will realize there are brands like Apple. All the management comes from hospitality. You know, you can do many things. So I wouldn't like you to have the idea that hospitality is just hotels and travel agencies or amusement parks, because at the end, all of us, we are looking for experiences. Even when we go to the supermarket, the cashier can make the difference for you as well, you know? So I don't know what else to say, because I talk a lot. Yes.
Does everybody works in the shops there to training? Or
From, sorry?
they need to do a training to go to work there for the shops. I mean, as you said, they're changing a lot of things, new models, new products.
Yeah,
so
the thing is that I become to value retail. Each boutique is managing their staff. Okay, we don't hire the staff from the brands.
everything is at the
But
same-
yes, but it's true that there are regularly trainings for the brands. It's Chinese New Year. Let's do a training of Chinese protocols, what they like to eat for the restaurants, which numbers we cannot use, which words we cannot use, which corporal behavior or language we use that is essential. So there are constantly trainings provided to the brands by Value Retail. In a really nice way, even the cleaning or the maintenance or the security teams, they have trainings in hospitality.
And they regularly do. I mean,
They do it. because for me it doesn't work that everything is like so nice, and then suddenly the cleaning lady doesn't even look at you when you pass by and say hello, or that you go to the security to ask something and he says like, you're bothering me, not physically, I mean, he won't say that, but it's very different if they know how Chinese will address to him, and that he knows how to behave, and that he smiles and he has a certain attitude. We cannot have one part of the village very well trained and another part that doesn't know anything about hospitality. It wouldn't work at the end. So that's why everybody on trainings is very effective, and they get really excited actually, you know.
Just say because I saw that maybe in England, yes, they do a lot of trainings to the people, but here in Spain I never seen any places that they training well people, workers.
But Value Retail is a British company
It depends
at
on
the end,
yeah.
you know.
But
So
even English companies here.
in Value Retail we do trainings all the time, and Alvaro can tell you better than anybody else. And very, very useful trainings, some of them really, really interesting, and where the teams get really involved. Even we do trainings sometimes mixed up the shops with the Value Retail team, so we end up knowing each other and we understand the problems of one area, the problems from the other area. So you realize, okay, I'm not the only one who has this problem, or I never thought about this issue this department or this brand could have, you know. So it's much better than for you work your empathetic much better at the end, you know.
Do you exchange workers from La Roca Village to other commercial centers?
Exchange, no. But it's true that maybe you're working in La Roca, there's a position in
London?
La Vallée in Paris that is interesting for you.
And
And
because you belong to the same.
well, you need to go through the process. Doesn't mean that because you want that position in La Vallée, you're going to be hired, you know.
No,
And
what I
it's
was talking about, Value Retail is an international company, yeah?
yes,
And then La Roca Village is part of it,
yes,
yeah? You see and then Value Retail takes into account that you've been working for them in Spain to take you on mind on the
Yes.
position of that's
yes. But sometimes it's offered. Maybe one village is interested in somebody, and maybe in their
they prefer to
there's
promote
a-
the local
or somebody I see in the system, oh, there's a position that matches perfectly my profile in London, and I'm going to apply. It doesn't mean they are going to hire you. Everything goes through a process, but it happens. Yeah.
We have an internal website with all the vacancies, so everyone knows all the vacancies all over the world. And also once a month, all the HRDs will have a call with all the vacancies, and we share. I'm looking for this profile, you're looking for that profile. Okay, so I have the right person for you, and you have the right person for me.
I told you
We
better
develop
than him there.
succession plannings, yes. And actually, Spain is one of the best talent pools in the world, like especially in tourism. Like many people are working now in London, and they came before from Barcelona and Madrid. And also retail, we have a really interesting talent pool, so we are doing a really good team. And Thaís, for example, is an example. You know, she's someone that trains really well, so probably or her team will develop at some point to other villages. So this is very important for us. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
what my
I
friend
told
said
you
to me.
nobody better than him to explain you this. You know.
Guys, it's okay.
Just a curiosity, in which department do you?
HR.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Actually, I didn't.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
HR
he's
for
the
Spain.
business partner. Yeah, he has a long title. Yeah, but yes, we started more or less at the same time actually.
Yes.
We knew each other in the inductions. Yeah. But I don't know how was for you this presentation. If you now see the retail business in a from a different point of view, or how do you understand now hospitality? If your mind is wider, you realize you can do many more things, or
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very
yeah,
much.
really?
Thank you.
If you have any other question, you can ask. I'm not, I don't mind really.